Welcome back to another reaction. This time for the anime You and I Are Polar Opposites, episode 1. Don't really know what this is about. Seems like a romance, maybe comedy, along those lines. Only saw the more or less picture where we have like a bunch of characters in it. So again, don't really know too much about it. I did watch the first couple minutes at some point, so I not much happened. So just to be upfront, watch the first couple minutes until they are in school. I did question if there were some school regulations going on, because we have someone who, you know, takes a lot of care in their outward appearance. We get introduced to a bunch of characters, seemingly at least. Again, we see these three characters, we are going to see two more characters, a bunch of characters being more or less shown. How many of these are going to be important for the story, I don't know, because it feels like a romance, because this main character seems to be romantically interested. But we have so many other characters. Do we get like a bunch of couples? Is it just this main couple and the rest is just orbiting around? Again, I did watch until they are in school. That is me, like 24/7. Always tired. This is especially. I feel like earrings would normally not be allowed, but so this is the same road the other dude went down. I mean, area. And is this the black-haired dude is Tanikun? That is all I know. And she is interested in him.
一緒じゃね
鍋さかはよはよおはよ山田よっす
えよ
お谷くんも
おはよ
う鈴木声でけ
So, because of the title, You and I Are Opposites, this is more or less where I stopped. So she is more, flashy, vibrant. He's more subdued, more conservative looking. So I guess this is the idea that, they are exact opposites. So he's reading a book. Maybe he's the smart guy. She's not the smart person. Maybe she seems to have a lot of friends. She seems very open. He does not. Again, also, I don't know if there are more couples going to be introduced, because I have no idea. The only thing I really saw is that it is pretty highly rated, which makes me believe there's going to be a lot of comedy. I am not going to laugh. Just a heads up.
世界を救うねえ今日のまつげいい感じじゃないわからん
もう松江区にすれば
それも考えたけどさ私としては地まつげで乗り切りたいわけよけどマスカラだと汗かいたり泣いたりこすれたりしたら取れんじゃん 結局どのメーカーがいいんだろうとか思ったりしてって感じなんだけど。谷君どう思う？
I mean, he doesn't know, I guess.
僕が知るわけないでしょ。
谷君今日も調子よ。
その谷君に無茶ぶりするノリなんなの？しかも絶対興味ない話題ばっか。
それな。いや、いつもバッサリ切ってくれるからついつい。マスカラ選びの相談ならいつでも乗るからね。
いらない。
また切られた。バッサリ。
谷君困らせんの。
はあ、谷君、本当にごめんなさい。正直、大好きです。
I feel like the other girls would pick up on that if she always, tries to talk to him and he's always shutting her down and she still continues. Now, as a guy, we have problems identifying signals like that, especially if you are younger. So, I guess she's going to try to woo him in some way. We will see. We have a very upbeat song. Nice. Okay. Probably not something I would listen to because I'm not a music guy. I don't listen to music at all, generally. But very upbeat. We did see some, it seems like there are some additional couples that potentially can form. There was one scene that looked very couple-esque. So maybe we get some more couples. That would be nice. Now, everyone ending up with a partner would be a little bit weird, but, a couple more would be a nice switch up every now and then.
英語の宿題やってきた？
当たりそうなとこの前後だけやった。
いや、全部やりなよ。
What? Did you do your homework?
当たり
I only did the part that I thought I might get right. That's not how homework works.
そうなとこの前後だけやった。
いや、全部やりなよ。
隣の席の谷くん。みんなは谷くんのことを物静かなメガネの子ぐらいにしか思ってないみたいだ。
Because he is? This is also, I am wondering how this came to be. Did she always like him? Was there something happening? Most of these stories have like a big situation happening in the past where maybe he stood up to her, maybe he picked up something for her, and since then she fell in love.
だけど、谷くん、自分の意見しっか
Group assignment analyze geographic terrain, sure. Kanekun speaks his mind clearly.
り言うし。
ここ多分指摘されるから直した方がいい。
なんで適当でいいじゃん。
人によって態度を変えたりしないし。
課題出して。課題。
お、回収サンキュー。
よろしく。
So these characters we got also somewhat introduced to, with the train, the girl that joins the other two guys.
この前の席替えの時も。
じゃあ席移動して。
隣だ。やばい、どうしよう。隣よろしくね。
Not very welcoming.
よろしく。
一番前の席ってさ、黒板見えやすいようで微妙に見えにくいよね。見えないところあったら教えるから声かけてね。
大丈夫だと思う。
そっか。谷くんは無駄に人に合わせたりしない。
I mean, she did try to get closer to him. I am wondering what is she going to try? It seems like she tries to play off his code shoulder a little bit. But I feel like she's not trying to get closer at this point. Maybe she's scared, maybe she doesn't know how.
なんかそういうのめちゃくちゃ憧れる。
鈴木はどっち好き？
Tanikun?
あ、ごめん聞いてなかった。
おい。
でもさ、やっぱ音源より現場で沸かす人がかっこいいと思うんだよな。ね、谷くん。
いや知らないよ。
谷君、鈴木のだるがらみ嫌ならちゃんと嫌って言いなよ。
別に大丈夫。
ほらね、大丈夫。よかった。谷くん、ごめんね。好きなのに、普通に話しかけたいのに。周りの目が気になる私は、好きだということが絶対バレない接し方しかできない。谷くんに憧れているのに、私は谷くんとは真逆の人間なのだ。
Maybe, maybe not. You don't know. I mean, you are not very close to him. But as I assumed, she seems to be too scared to really try to build that connection.
よし、放課後みんなで金馬行こう。ね、鈴木
King of Burger.
も来るよね。
宿題やんないと。
Seems she's not very good with peer pressure.
鈴木、宿題移させて。
また？
助けてくれ。
Because she was like, we are polar opposites, I assumed he would be like the smart introverted type and she would be the not as smart. But people copy her homework, so she is. She clearly, as we saw, she's working hard to keep good grades, somewhat at least. We don't really know at this point. Does it mean that Tanikun is not very good at school?
もうしゃーなし。
サキュー。
鈴木、昨日のストーリー笑ったわ。鈴木さん、私もフォローしていい？
Oh, she's writing stories online, huh?
変な投稿なかったかな。
ぜひぜひ。
I do not. This is one part I really do not like. If someone I know, as example, this video, I don't really want anyone that I know to watch these because it feels weird. Very weird.
てかさ、谷って頭いいよ
Is he?
ああ、今日のグループワーク？
そういやこの前塾通ってるとこ見たわ。
東大くん？
Again, polar opposites. They seem to be both somewhat smart. I could also imagine her to work really hard so she can follow him into the next school and whatnot.
それは知らんけど。
ほんとすごいよね。
な。マジで俺らと住む世界違うよな。
ひとまとめにすんな。
こん中だと鈴木が一番谷くんと仲いいじゃんね。
そうかな。
汚ねえな。
大丈夫さっきから。
ちょっとね、気管に物が詰まりやすいお年頃。
Yeah, you're too young for that. Is there an age where you get things stuck in your
目
throat?
が早いだろ。
好きな俳優ランキングで須田健が2連覇だって。
女子ってやんちゃ系好きよな。
いや、彼氏にするなら須田健一択っしょ。
出た、鈴木の須田健推し。
空気を読むのは周りのためではなく、読むのは周りのため。
No, reading the room is mostly for you. Because if you stick out, it puts the target on you. So it's all about trying to fit in, don't be more or less the main attention. Don't draw attention to yourself. It can be positive, most of the time it's negative.
完全に自分のため
I am wondering how this develops. I can see that at some point she lets it slip and some friends of her try to help her. Or is she going to try to do it alone? I feel like, because they seem to be in the same neighborhood, that maybe she is going to get, like, someone to teach her. You know, not whatever it's called. You know, she wants someone to teach her at home, and she books someone, and it turns out to be Tanikun. I can see that happening. I don't really know how else you get close to someone. Maybe she goes to cram school.
たまに疲れてしまうのはなんでだろ
Interesting. Looks like a little teddy bear.
う。いい加減帰ろう。
At home, huh? Not really good look.
タニ君今帰り遅いね。今絶対やばい顔してた。
E の提出物で残ってた。
君って家どっち方面？
校門出て右。
同じ。誰も見てない。タニ君やばい。途中まで一緒に帰ろう。心臓出そう。
I mean, that is a very hard first step, but seemingly it worked.
タニ君も
And I guess this is where she finds out they are in the same
家
neighborhood.
こっちだったんだね。今まで全然一緒になったことなかったけど。
うん。
私いつも放課後遊び回ってるからそりゃ合わないか。谷君委員会とかあるもんね。
I feel like she's going to try to meet him every morning now.
うん。
Riveting conversation. Yep. It's definitely a dialogue with a lot of pauses.
そうそうこの前金馬行ったんだけどもう具が高温なんで全然パンに挟まりきってなくてもはやパンは添えるだけ的なもう食べ方全然わかんなかった。いやこの話おもろいか。
美味しかった。
First time he reacted in a way that didn't shut down the conversation.
かなりむちゃくちゃ。あそうだ谷君も食べに行くなんつって。
いいよ。
I mean, depending on how you structure this, this could be a date.
Eh?
And again, she's always very passive. You know, she was asking him, but she was like, "Oh, I'm kidding, ha 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 ha," because she didn't want to be hurt by his flat-out rejection.
今なんて社交辞令空気読んだ。
He's never matching the mood.
いや谷君そういう人じゃない。
Strikes the iron while it's hot. Now make plans, maybe? I mean, this is easier said than done. He's probably in a very confusing situation right now.
何か返せ私。ダメだもう心臓がバクバクしすぎて無理。
Don't run away. Just don't run away.
谷君 What? 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 谷
Okay. What the? Not what I expected at all. Straight up. I was in my mind, I was like, okay, asking about the date. Maybe you can ask for his number, to take it a little bit further. Him holding her hand, not what I expected would happen. Ever. It's the first episode. Is she dreaming?
嘘。何これ。
Can it be?
夢。どうしよう。私、今。絶対手汗やばい。
Does it really matter too much? Probably not. I mean, he took your hand. It doesn't really matter. The question is why? Is he maybe interested in her as well? Maybe this is a very, speedrunning romance, which interesting idea. So we don't have the back and forth. It could also be that maybe he has like his little sister and this is more or less a habit, which sometimes is like one of those cop-outs. I do hope he is interested in her and this is going to lead further. I don't really know what we are doing then. Is it more about going on dates and stuff?
心臓の音でかすぎて耳の後ろまで脈打ってる。死ぬ。
てかさ、原線のさ、前髪やばくなかった？
Interesting. So it is not necessarily like a habit. As soon as I see. So I assume he has a similar idea to her. It seems like he likes her. Okay. We already went a big step in the right direction. I mean, we are more or less one step away from just going out with one another. But he seems to not want to... It feels like he doesn't want her place in the school to be diminished by, being together with him. Because he probably has a negative view of himself, that he's not very likable maybe, and he doesn't want to pull her down. I'm assuming is what is happening here. Or he's just shy. Also possible.
そこからはもう家までどう帰ったかなんて覚えてない。
The question is, how is he going to take that now? It would have been a good idea to give him your number, maybe?
ただいまだ玄関で寝んなよ。
ああ、兄ちゃん。
キモ。
手つないだ。
食べないの？
食わねえならよこせ。
しかも向こうから。
Yeah, that is a big part. It's not necessarily holding hands, it's that he decided to hold your hand.
やばいやばいやばいやばいやばいやばい。明日どんな顔して学校行けばいい？こんなのドキドキして眠れないよ。
うるせえ。
Is it not a school day? It is,
朝、
right?
嘘。っていうか今何時？
Too late? Too late.
遅刻無欠席だったのに。なんでみんなは。
It's alright to be late sometimes. Hey, W parent. It's alright to be late sometimes, but make sure you eat breakfast. You know, it happens. Which means she could have just woken her up. Maybe she tried. But you know, it's fine. Don't beat yourself up over a little mistake.
てかもう朝っていうより昼
Wow. Yeah, that is more than a little late.
急いでも同じような
That is true. Doesn't really matter how late you are. If you are 1 hour late or 3 hours late, it's more or less the same.
気がしてきた。チンしよう。
Microwave the rice, huh? Interesting.
昼休みだけど、はよ
鈴木遅刻珍しい。
ー。てかもう休めばよかったのに。いや洗濯体育は出たいじゃん。バカだ。
おお、鈴木来てんじゃ
おいっす。
ん。なあ、お前谷と
Where is this coming from?
付き合ってんの？
は？
なんか昨日2人で帰ってんの見かけたってガパチョが言ってて。
誰だよガパチョ。
見間違いじゃないの？
ガパチョの視力なめんなよ。
知らんがな。
おいおいおい待て山田。今もしかしたら両思いかもしれないがまだ確定事項で
That is true.
はないっていう一番絶妙な時期なんだ。いじって面白み出てくるやつじゃないから。こっちとらガチだから。
Now, this is the problem. She can't. If she says no and he hears it, we have the typical, oh no. She can't really say yes. So, I don't know what you would answer. Maybe what she could do is tell him, why don't you ask Tani-kun?
っていうか見かけたって
Who said?
どこ？
Who saw you?
あ、
Just don't deny. Typical. Typical.
あのさ、そこ僕の席。ノート取っていい？
おお、ごめん、毒は？
いいよ、次移動だから。
おお。
I mean, it's understandable she doesn't want to bring it out because it's a very delicate thing to tell about the person you like. However, denying that is always the worst part. I would just try to deflect. Now, that is hindsight and I have enough time, and this question came out of nowhere. I would also have asked who this person is. To see who, you know, more or less put the conversation towards something else.
最悪だ。
糖質は体内で分解されて食後の血
全力で否定してるところを聞かれてしまった。失礼すぎる。違うんです。そんなつもりで言ったんじゃないんです。谷君ごめんなさい。
You can't do that. Come on. Okay.
無理無理できない。でも早く謝りたい。どうしよう。谷君嫌な気分になってないかな。やだな。
鈴木シャトル全然拾えてないじゃん。
もう手で取りなよ。
ああ、なんで私はこんなにも。
鈴木ごめん。
話そう。話しかけなきゃ。早く誤解を。でもこんなみんながいる場で。
I mean, you can always just exchange little letters. Maybe, I don't know if you have a phone. But if you had one, give him your line number. Then you can talk this way.
鈴木さん、昨日のこと忘れてごめん。
鈴木、ポップコーンのクーポン今日までだから行こう。
I hope she runs after him. I'm assuming that is what is going to happen, even if bouncy little girls come here for like a coupon for some popcorn.
てかお前さっき
ポップコーンのクーポン今日までだから行こう。
てかお前さっきも谷と話してなかった？やっぱ仲良しじゃん。
鈴木？
私
Just go and go after him. I hope you are not going to proclaim you love him now.
谷君の
I don't really see much of a point in doing this. Just go after him. If you are able to say it in this classroom, you probably are able to get at least somewhat close to Tani. Go after him, be like, I don't want to forget what happened yesterday. Something along those lines.
のこと好き。片思いしてんの。
え？
で、昨日一緒に帰ろうって私が誘ったの。それってなんかおかしい？
I do find it weird that she is asking him. So, guy, that he's a guy, he probably doesn't know that much. On the other hand, he's the only guy that now has an idea.
はあ？言えよ！たまたま帰り道あっただけ的なんと思うじゃん。マジなやつとか思わねえじゃん。待って。俺昼休み超野暮なこと言った気がする。
あんたはいつも野暮だよ。
Fair enough.
で、谷君帰ったけどいいの？よくない？
走れば間に合うんじゃない？
大変だ鈴木、行ってこい。
ポップコーンのことは気にしなくていいからね。ごめん、気にしてない。おい。
I mean, why should she care about your coupon for popcorn?
走れ鈴木、何走る速度見せつけろ。
Does Suzuki mean anything else, or is it because of the brand? Because of the brand.
よっそ。
かましたね。
前見ろよ。
いっけ。
なんだ。自分の気持ちを言うのってこんな簡単なことだったんだ。
Yeah. Now you just have to repeat it towards Tanikun. So simple, so easy. Barely an inconvenience.
魔が差したとしか言いようがない。
I gave in to temptation. What do you mean?
隣の席の鈴木さん、いつも話しかけてくるけど、それは自分のことを何とも思っていないからこそできる軽いノリ。
So somewhat pessimistic, okay?
途中まで一緒に帰ろう。
そう思ってたのに。今日学校来ないのかと思った。
そんなんじゃないから。
いつの間にか鈴木さんに話しかけられるのが日常になっていた。彼女のいない一日はあまりにも静かだ。
自分の気持ちみんなにバレるのが怖かった。私超ダサい人間なの。けど谷君ともっと一緒にいたいです。で繋いでくれたのもめちゃくちゃ嬉しかったです。嬉しすぎて昨日は眠れなくて寝坊しました。いや寝とるんかいって感じだけど。
鈴木さん、僕鈴木さんが喋るのをやめると間が持たないような、そんなダサい人間なんだけど、それでもいい？
今の顔超可愛い。
ちょっと。
だってそんなのいいに決まってんじゃん。
なんか僕が泣かせたみたい。
いやそうでしょ実質。
マスカラ取れるんだっけ？
ちゃんと話聞いてくれてんじゃん。やばい超ときめく。
なんで？何？
Still very fast relationship. Interesting. I guess the ending coming in. Did not expect this to happen. Interesting. Okay. So at least we are at the starting point of the romance. We don't have the back and forth. We had the typical understanding, but just simply cleared it up.